Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Roman Reigns has conquered some of the biggest stars in WWE over the years. However, he has yet to face his real-life cousin and fellow Bloodline member, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. If recent reports are anything to go by, the final boss could end his in-ring career against the only tribal chief. The dream match between the two men has been brewing for the last couple of years. WWE previously discussed this blockbuster program for WrestleMania 39, but the plans fell through. A year later, Reigns and The Rock almost faced each other at WrestleMania XL, but Cody Rhodes' meteoric rise forced the creative to scrap the original plans once again. WWE set the wheels in motion at Bad Blood last year when The Rock came out to confront Rhodes and Reigns. But the 8-time WWE champion poured water on fans' excitement during the Raw on Netflix premiere, where he seemingly turned babyface. He first reconciled with the American Nightmare, with whom he had beef last year. Later in the show, The Rock presented the Ula Fala necklace to Roman Reigns after his cousin's hard-fought victory against Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match. Since then, fans have been worried whether the 52-year-old Hollywood actor will compete at WrestleMania 41. Whether or not he competes remains to be seen, but Ibu of WrestlePurists noted that Reigns will be the last man The Rock ever wrestles before hanging up his boots for good. What's next for Roman Reigns ahead of WWE Royal Rumble? Roman Reigns will be entering the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match on February 1st, marking his first participation in the namesake match since 2020. A few weeks ago on SmackDown, Paul Heyman let Cody Rhodes know his client wanted his undisputed WWE Championship back. With The Rock seemingly out of the picture, WWE has internally discussed CM Punk vs. Roman Reigns as a potential program for the show of shows this year. The two men will likely come face-to-face during the Royal Rumble match this year. Punk has yet to call in the favor that Heyman owes to him. Will the Wiseman betray his tribal chief for the Second City Saint? Only time will tell. It was a night filled with anticipation as WWE SmackDown emanated from a sold-out Madison Square Garden. The energy in the arena was electric, with fans on their feet, chanting for their favorite superstars. Unbeknownst to them, this night would mark a significant turning point in WWE history. The tribal chief, Roman Reigns, made his way to the ring flanked by Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. With his Universal Championship slung over his shoulder, Reigns exuded dominance, the embodiment of power and control in the WWE. As his music faded, the crowd alternated between cheers and boos, acknowledging the reign of the most dominant superstar of the modern era. Paul Heyman handed Reigns a microphone, and the tribal chief paused to survey the crowd before speaking. "Madison Square Garden," he began, his voice steady but commanding. "For over 3 years, I've run this business. I've smashed everyone in my path. I've conquered legends, ended careers, and solidified my place as the greatest of all time. But tonight, we're doing something different." The fans buzzed with curiosity as Reigns' tone shifted. He seemed less aggressive and more reflective. For over 2 decades, one man has fought, bled, and sacrificed in this ring. He's been a champion, a leader, and a warrior. But every empire has its end. Every king steps down. And tonight, I'm here to make that decision for him. The crowd erupted into speculation. Who was Roman talking about? Could he be addressing someone like John Cena, Randy Orton, or even Edge? Reigns turned toward the stage. "Get out here," he commanded, "and face your tribal chief." The tension was palpable as moments passed without an answer. Then, the familiar riff of Randy Orton's theme song, "Voices," echoed throughout the arena. The crowd erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps as the Viper emerged, looking as focused and dangerous as ever. Orton walked down the ramp with his signature swagger, his piercing eyes locked on Reigns. He stepped into the ring, and the two titans stood face to face. "You think you can call the shots for me, Roman?" Orton sneered, his voice dripping with defiance. "You might be the tribal chief, but I'm Randy Orton. I'm the apex predator. And nobody tells me when it's time to go. Reigns smirked, clearly unfazed. Randy, you've had a hell of a career. 14-time world champion. Future Hall of Famer. But let's be real, you're not the same Viper you used to be. Your body's breaking down. Your time's up. And as the head of the table, I'm here to do what's best for business. Orton's expression hardened. You don't get to decide my legacy, Roman. I do. I've been here long before you, and I've seen guys like you come and go. You might be on top now, but you're just another chapter in the book of Randy Orton. The crowd roared at Orton's fiery response, but Reigns remained calm. This isn't about disrespect, Randy, Reigns said. It's about acknowledgement. You've done everything there is to do in this business. But now, it's time to step aside and let someone else carry the torch. Let me do this the right way, for you, for your legacy, for your family. Orton shook his head, his jaw clenched. You want to retire me? Fine. But you're going to have to earn it. One more match, Roman. Me and you, right here, right now. The crowd exploded, eager to see the two legends collide. Reigns glanced at Paul Heyman, who looked visibly nervous, before turning back to Orton. One more match? Reigns asked, a smirk playing on his lips. You've got it. A referee sprinted to the ring, and the bell rang to signal the impromptu main event. The final battle. The match was everything the fans could have hoped for and more. Orton and Reigns went toe-to-toe in a brutal, high-stakes encounter that showcased their grit, determination, and undeniable talent. Orton dug deep into his bag of tricks, delivering vintage moves like the power slam, the draping DDT, and even teasing a punt kick. Reigns, however, countered with his signature Superman punches, thunderous spears, and sheer physical dominance. The turning point came when Orton hit an RKO out of nowhere, sending the crowd into a frenzy. He went for the pin, but Reigns kicked out at the last possible second. Orton, visibly frustrated but undeterred, signaled for another RKO. As Orton lunged forward, Reigns countered with a devastating spear. The impact shook the ring, and the crowd erupted as Reigns covered Orton for the 3 count. The bell rang, and Roman Reigns stood victorious. But instead of celebrating, he remained on his knees, staring at Orton as the crowd gave the two legends a standing ovation. The farewell. After a few moments, Reigns helped Orton to his feet. The two shared a quiet exchange, their mutual respect evident. Reigns then raised Orton's arm, signaling the end of an era. Paul Heyman handed Reigns a microphone, and the tribal chief addressed the crowd once more. Madison Square Garden, give it up for one of the greatest to ever do it, Randy Orton. The crowd erupted in chants of thank you, Randy, as Orton stood in the center of the ring, soaking in the moment. For the first time in his career, the Viper looked vulnerable, his eyes glistening with emotion. Orton took the microphone from Reigns. This isn't how I wanted it to end, he admitted, his voice cracking. But if I have to go out, I'm glad it's against someone like Roman Reigns. Thank you, WWE Universe. Thank you for letting me live my dream for over 20 years. The crowd's cheers grew louder, with some fans visibly emotional. Orton placed the microphone on the mat and took one last look around the arena before exiting the ring. As Orton walked up the ramp, he turned to face the crowd one final time. He raised his arms in his signature pose, and the fans responded with a deafening ovation. Back in the ring, Roman Reigns watched silently, his expression a mix of pride and respect. The tribal chief had cemented his legacy not only as the most dominant force in WWE but also as the man who gave Randy Orton the farewell he deserved. Backstage fallout. After the show, social media exploded with reactions to Orton's retirement. WWE superstars, legends, and fans shared their memories of the Viper, celebrating his incredible career. In a backstage interview, Reigns reflected on the night's events. Randy Orton is a legend, Reigns said. It was an honor to share the ring with him. But this is what we do in this business, we pass the torch. And tonight, I made sure Randy's legacy will be remembered forever. The night ended with a bittersweet feeling. WWE had lost one of its greatest performers, but the moment was a reminder of why fans love the business, the stories, the emotions, and the larger-than-life characters that make every moment unforgettable. Randy Orton's retirement wasn't just the end of an era, it was a celebration of a career that defined WWE for over 2 decades. And in his final chapter, the Viper proved once again why he'll always be remembered as one of the best.